Good evening to everyone present here. On behalf of the Internal Quality Assurance Cell of Nanjil Catholic College of Arts and Science, I warmly welcome all the dignitaries, faculty members, and participants to the fifth day of our 6-day national level online FDP on Excellence in Education Shaping Tomorrow's Classroom. Today's session is on the topic Basics of Academic Research. We are delighted to have an eminent resource person to guide us through this insightful session. Before we begin, I kindly request all participants to keep their microphones muted and videos turned off throughout the session for the smooth conduct of the program. Participants may post their questions in the chat box and doubts will be cleared during the interaction session. I repeat, I kindly request all participants to keep their microphones muted and videos turned off throughout the session for the smooth conduct of the program. Now, to begin the program formally, I invite Mrs. Subi MS, Head of the Department of English, Nanjil Catholic College of Arts and Science, to deliver the welcome address. Please, ma'am.
A very pleasant evening to one and all gathered here. On behalf of the Internal Quality Assurance Cell of Nanjil Catholic College of Arts and Science, Kalai Kavale, I extend a warm welcome to each of you to this evening session. First and foremost, it is my privilege to welcome our esteemed Secretary and Correspondent, Reverend Dr. C. Stephen. Father, your visionary leadership and constant encouragement are the driving forces behind all our academic endeavors. I welcome you, Father. Next, I extend a cordial welcome to our respected principal, Dr. M. Amalanathan. Sir, your unwavering commitment to academic excellence and institutional growth continues to inspire both our faculty and students. I welcome you, sir. It is an immense pleasure to welcome our distinguished keynote speaker for tonight, Dr. Anchu PR, Assistant Professor, Bharat Mata Institute of Management, Cochin. We look forward to an enlightening session. Welcome to you, ma'am. My appreciation goes out the entire IQAC team for organizing this timely FDF, ensuring that we continue to shape tomorrow's classrooms with rigor and excellence. Finally, I extend a warm welcome to all the faculty members, research scholars, and academic participants joining us online from various parts of the country. Your dedication to continuous learning is what makes these programs meaningful. I wish you all a highly productive and enriching session. Once again, welcome to you all and thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your warm and pleasant welcome. Now, I invite Dr. R. Christabel Merlin Mahal, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Nanjil Catholic College of Arts and Science, to introduce today's distinguished guest speaker. Please, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. Our speaker today is Dr. Anchu, an assistant professor at the Bharata Mata Institute of Management. She brings over 11 years of teaching experiences to our session. Dr. Anchu holds a PhD in Management Sciences on an MBA and a BTech in Information Technology. Her expertise spans human resources management, information systems, and organizational behavior. She is an accomplished researcher who has published widely and presented at the major national and international conferences, including the IIMS. She also holds a prestigious Best Paper Award from the College of Engineering, Toronto. Dear participants, please join me in extending a heartfelt welcome to our distinguished chief guest, Dr. Anchu. Please, ma'am.
Thank you for the welcome. Can I begin the session?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'll share the PPT and if you have any questions, please click on the mic and ask or any queries. Let's start. PPT is visible, right? Full screen?
Yes, ma'am. The slides are visible.
Yeah, thank you. So, a very good evening to all the respected dignitaries here, faculty members, and other participants from different institutes. First of all, I'd like to express my gratitude to the FDP of Nanjil Catholic College of Arts and Science for inviting me to be a part of this. I think somebody is waiting. Yes, admitted. Just admitted.
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah.
Ma'am, your voice is not clear
Um,
and the volume is less as well.
okay. Is it clear now? Is it clear now?
It's better, but
Is it clear? Is it clear? Is it clear now?
no.
No. Um, Sorry.
The volume is slightly low and the voice is breaking as well.
Okay. It's connected to the Wi-Fi actually. Is it okay now? Just confirm.
It's still the same, ma'am.
Same. So can I have a second to connect to another
Yes, ma'am,
audio?
please.
Give me a second. Is it now audible?
Yes, ma'am, it's better, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll share my PPT once more. Somebody is asking for getting admitted. Okay. So if there are any issues, please let me know. So
Okay, ma'am.
I'll like to express my thanks to the IQAC team of Nanjal Catholic College of Arts and Science for inviting me to be a part of this six-day national level online FDP on excellence in education, shaping tomorrow's classroom. So it was a true privilege to interact with such a diverse academic audience this evening. I'm sorry for the glitch in voice and audio. Okay, so the topic is basically basics of research, and I thought why not we lead to foundations and think something about quality publications through this FTP. And as you know, research today is not limited to this type of PhD thesis or laboratories, right? It has become an essential part of academics that through growth and the teaching quality and also for the institutional development, it has become an extremely important part. And see what makes it interesting today is that we are coming from diverse disciplines. I think through the coordinator, I heard that different discipline faculty from different disciplines are here today this evening. So it makes it very interesting so that the research, different disciplines have different types of research works going on, or research designs they are doing. But as you all know, although the subjects are very different, but the spirit of research is the same, right? Asking questions, finding the evidences of those questions, and contributing to the knowledge or the contributing to the database is the ultimate thing what we all do in research, right? So, um, so today's session on the basics of academic research is not limited to uh, as in I'm not getting into detail of filing technical things. As I am from the management side, it is like we are doing a very statistical type of research, and analysis has an important part. It is not like that for an art or a humanities type of research. So, through today's session, I'm not moving on to the highly technical part of research. Instead, the idea is to discuss how we can formulate research problems. For writing a research paper, how can we formulate research problems and the types of research that can be done, and the part of literature review, publications, predatory journals that we are speaking about in the current scenario. So, like with that note, let us begin to the today's session. And now, before moving to the main part of the research, um, see the first slide. I think before moving to the main part, I would like to ask you, like, what is the importance of research in the academics? That is a big question. So we all know that research holds something important in academia. So, what part of this research is important to be carried out like faculty like us to be carried out in academia? So, as you all think, there are several factors of importance of research in academia, and one of that factors is improving the teaching quality. So, like research keeps our examples fresh, as in the PPT it is mentioned. Research keeps our examples fresh. Say, as a management teacher,
Excuse me, ma'am.
okay, yeah,
Sorry to interrupt, but
yeah,
I believe there's a message in the in-call messages that
sorry,
um,
sorry.
telling that your audio is not clear. It's better
Okay,
than it's better now, but still it's not clear for few.
so what can I do? Can I switch? It's been a while that I have used this Google Meet, that's why. Two audio devices have been connected and one is not working that you have told me. I have connected another audio device.
Uh,
Is it better now?
yes,
Let me
ma'am.
check. Let me check.
Okay, ma'am.
I'm really sorry about that. Siri, is it audible now?
Yes, ma'am. It's audible.
I can't hear you. Wait for it.
It's audible now, ma'am.
Yeah, is it audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So I'm sorry for the glitches. That is why during the session start itself, I was asking whether it is audible or not. Yeah. So we were we were telling about the importance of research in academia. So as the PPT says, research keeps your example fresh. And think of ourselves. If we don't update ourselves through research, we may still be teaching the students the same examples, the outdated case studies or the outdated old theories. If we are not updated or not doing any research at all, we may still be teaching the same thing. And the second point is, as you all know, students today, the Gen Z generation, the students Google faster than us. They have instant access to information. So, as we all know that without research, today we will be discussing the same old book. We will all say, "I've read this book when I was your age." It is not like that. It don't work like that. We should be able to state theories or policies or any management things or any discipline. We should be able to say based on 2024 study published in so and so journal. It says so. And that is where teaching quality can be improved through research. So research is not separate from teaching. We can't be simply sit like that doing teaching only. We should do research as part and parcel of teaching. So research is not a separate thing from teaching. See, research can improve discussions in our classrooms. And so understanding the basics of research is important for every faculty, including any discipline. It is very important that we should do some research while we are into the teaching career or into the academics. So that is one area where the importance of research is seen. And then we do research for career progression. See, research is very closely linked to the career progression. As you all know, during our interviews, during our promotion test, during accreditation process and all. One common question, what is the one common question that they usually ask during interviews or during any promotion test? They usually ask how many publications do you have, right? If you don't have any publication or if you don't have any genuine publication, you will be stuck as an assistant professor forever. Right. So they'll ask. It is not like you can publish in any type of peer-reviewed journal and you can get promotions or you can get accreditation. It is not the case. See, they'll ask which journal you are publishing in. Scopus, Web of Science, or any funded project do you have? What is the agenda? They'll ask you. So research output is closely linked with this career progression or academic growth. And say I've written something like without research, you attend faculty meetings for 10 or 20 years. Nobody knows your name. With publications or with any Scopus publication or Web of Science publication or Elsevier publication or Taylor and Francis publication, say they will note your name. Like that ma'am has a publication in Scopus. That is what the importance of research is in career progression. Then comes obviously the most important thing for institutional reputation. So, as you all know, research today also affects something much bigger, that is reputation and growth of the entire institution. See, every ranking bodies or every accreditation bodies evaluate institution based on the one thing that they look as based on research performance or research output. Research gives points, give ranks, give more students, give better funding. Without research, it is we are good. They'll say we are good. This is a good institution. With some 100 or 150 Scopus publication or Elsevier publication, see, we can say that your institution is ranked in top 5 in research citation in your region. That is what research is. So the importance of research is for better teaching quality, for career progression, and for institutional reputation. That is what research is about. So as faculties or academicians, we should be concerned about everything. We should be concerned about our teaching quality. To improve teaching quality, with teaching, you should be able to maintain research also, so that we can say things, quote things. From recent publications, we can quote things. For career progression, you need research. For institutional reputation, obviously, NAC, NBA, accreditation, every ranking, QS ranking, every ranking, they will be asking for how many publications you have. So, as I can say one more thing, like you all know, academia is based on 3 functions. What are the 3 functions? The 3 functions are, one is obviously teaching and learning. Learning and teaching actually. For MBA, for new NAC purposes, it is called learning and teaching. The first leg is learning and teaching. The second leg is research. And the third leg is extension and outreach. So think about, imagine that academia is a 3-leg stool or a chair, 3-leg chair. One leg is teaching, one leg is research, one leg is extension or outreach, whatever. Now, if one leg is missing, see, the chair becomes unstable. No, that is the case. That is exactly what happens in academia also. Without research, it is unbalanced or it is not stable. Everything comes aligned with research only. Teaching comes into the optimum level with research only. Outreach also, extension also. With research, it is outdated. So research is the basics of academia. So we move on to the basic thing of today's session, that is research, basics of research. So I'll start with fundamentals of a good research. See, what is the basic thing that we need to have if you want to do a good research? What is the basic thing that you need to have? See, According to me, the basic thing that a good researcher need to have is to identify a good problem. If you are going to write a research paper, or you are going to present a paper in an international conference, or you are submitting a research article in a good Scopus journal, you need to identify a good research problem. One of the most important steps in research is identifying good research problem. Where can we identify these good research problems? How will you identify good research problem for a good research paper to write? As ma'am already said, the faculties over here are holding PhDs or are doing PhDs. So you are thorough with the basics or fundamentals of research you are thorough with. It is like you need to write a paper or you need to extend the research. So you need to identify a research problem. As you all know, there are several methods to identify research problem. The one being real life problems. You can take real life problems. See, many research ideas come directly from practical problems that we observe around us. So I'm a management or HR faculty. Somebody is joining the session. May I admit one sec? So so I'm a management faculty, I'm an HR faculty, and I can, I can, I can.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
The slides are not visible.
Okay, I'll share once more.
Okay, ma'am.
Is it okay now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. See, the first and foremost thing that a researcher needs to know is to identify a good research problem for an article or a thesis or whatever. There are different methods, as I have said. The first main method to identify a research problem is like real life problems we can identify. We can observe practical problems around us. So, like if I'm an IT employee, I was an IT employee, and I can relate myself to an IT firm. So I could take the research like employee burnout or employee turnover in a hybrid workplace. That can be a research problem. As a physics faculty, you can also take some research problem like sustainable energy materials, digital payment adoption, AI and language learning, ethical AI system. These are some real life problems that we can identify, or else you can identify any problem that you can observe around us, any research problem. The second method that we can identify a research problem is through literature gaps or research gaps. See, what is a literature gap actually? A literature gap means something that has not been studied properly or sufficiently. That is what research gap is, as you all know. So that unexplored area becomes a research opportunity. You can take that unexplored area that these many researchers have studied to some extent they have studied a particular term and they have not covered a particular context. That can be a research gap. So that can also be a research opportunity. See, as I'm telling you about research literature gaps, there are different types of gaps. Hmm? Somebody might know and somebody might not. I'm concentrating on that group of people who might not know what are the different types of gaps. So you can go to literature and find context gap. What is context gap? Context gap means studies that exist globally. They exist. That research do exist, but the study were conducted globally, but not in the Indian context, or not in the Kerala context, or not in the Tamil Nadu context. They had not been studied. So there exists a gap. That is called context gap, and we can study based on literatures or based on the data collected from uh, that context. That is, some research have been done on manufacturing firms context and not in the IT sector. So we have a gap, we have a context gap that a particular study is not done in the IT sector. So we can find that gap and do our study in the IT context. That is literature gap, context gap. Then we have population gap. See, for example, I can say that some type of research exists in urban students and but not in rural areas. Rural students they have not done. That type of gap is population gap based on population we can say. So the first one was context gap and the second one was population gap. And then comes methodological gap. See, methodological gap means most studies in social science research, as an MBA faculty, I have done social science research. So in social science research, we use surveys, but the qualitative perspectives are missing. For arts or humanities type of researchers, they use mostly qualitative research or interviewing type of research. And there is a methodological gap, right? I have done quantitative only, and I can also do qualitative as well. That is methodological gap. And time gap also do exist. See, um, some studies were conducted in post-pandemic era, and that study was not done pre-pandemic. That is time gap. So there are several type of literature gaps that do exist, like context gap, population gap, methodological gap, and time gap. That is for your information, I was saying. And then we can identify. See, we were dealing with research problems, identification of research problem and real life problems. Literature gaps was the two major areas that we can find research problems, and then we can find research problems socially relevant or industry relevant scenario. See, research is expected to contribute not only to the academic knowledge, right? Hmm? But also to the industry and the society as well. So there is a relevance for the industry and society as well. So we can find research problems in that area also. The interdisciplinary research. This is a new thing. Hmm? This is a modern trend. Excuse me. So this is a modern trend in academia, which is called interdisciplinary research. See, if I am saying, for example, AI and healthcare, as the name suggests, it combines AI in healthcare. That is what I was doing research. I am doing research in. See, as the name itself suggests, AI in healthcare. It includes something from computer science, something from medicine, something from statistics, something from data analytics as well. So four disciplines combined. I'm doing a research on that. That is interdisciplinary research. So there is a gap, right? People might have done AI, people might have done healthcare separately, but they have not done this computer science, medicine, statistics, data analytics all together. Somebody might not have done. There's a breadth of research, and that is a research opportunity. So we can identify research problems there. I've given some minor examples of identified research problems here. Say management. From the management side, I can say by burnout is a research problem. From physics, I can say this. And each discipline have their own types of research problems that they can identify. So then comes some of the context that you need to know while you are doing a research. You might be familiar with, but the difference of these should be made familiar for every faculty in every discipline. You should be familiar with these type of terms. And the first term is topic, then problem, then research question, then objective and hypothesis. See, what are these things? First, I would like to say about topic. See, topic, somebody is joining. Excuse me for a second. Yeah. Okay. So, what is a topic in a research problem? Sorry, topic in research. It is a broad area that you are interested in. If you are going to write a research paper, you you will be having an area of interest. That is called the particular topic. Um, see, a topic can be a general subject area of a research. If this only tells about what is your area of interest. If, for example, if I am saying I'm interested in online learning, the topic of my research or topic of interest of my research is online learning. I'll take my topic as online learning. So moving on to research problem. So what is this problem? Problem is like, what is the issue that exists in your topic? That is research problem. What is the issue or challenge that you are going to face while you have an interest in that topic? What is the problem in that topic? What is the issue in that topic? What is the challenge in that topic? That becomes your research problem. See, I've said already I'm interested in a topic, online learning. So, as a research problem, I can say, what can I say? What might be my research problem? In the topic online learning, I can say what is the actual problem in that. See, many students shows a disengagement or lower engagement and participation in online classes. See, we have also attended many online sessions, and we know that offline participation and online participation is entirely different, right? So the problem is that low engagement and participation. Many students have or might show a low engagement during online classes. That can be a problem. That can be a research problem. So, what is a research question? Research question is what exactly you need to find out. A research question is the main question of the researcher, main question that the researcher wants to answer to the through the study. The main question that the researcher wants to answer through the study, through their study, is called research question. So that is a main funda behind the entire research process. See, our topic was online learning, and the problem identified was many students showing low engagement and participation in online classes. That was our research problem. So the research question can be what? What factors affect student engagement in online learning? That can be a question. You can frame a question from the research problem. That can be a question. And objective is very similar to research question. Objective is usually something reframed. A research question reframed as an objective to examine the factors related to or to examine the factors affecting student engagement in online learning can be your objective. So, in social science research, there is one more thing that like hypothesis. In arts and science, I don't think they have a hypothesis or what. See, we have a hypothesis. Just for your information, I am saying hypothesis is a tentative assumption, an assumption that can change. That is hypothesis. See, we have framed a research objective like to examine the factors affecting student engagement in online learning. That was our research objective. To examine the factors affecting student engagement in online learning was our objective. So, what can be a hypothesis? In a hypothesis, we say an assumption. We assume something that can be changed. That assumption can change. So, hypothesis is a tentative assumption. That is why it is called a tentative assumption. That means assumption which can be changed. So, the hypothesis I can frame it like there is a relationship between teaching methods and student engagement. We have already stated in the objective that we are going to examine certain factors that lead to student engagement. That is my research study about. That is my research objective about. I want to know what are the factors that lead to student engagement in online classes. That was my research objective. And I have framed a hypothesis which can be changed. I am assuming that teaching methods have some relation with the student engagement in online classes. That is hypothesis. So hypothesis is a tentative assumption. These are some basic terms that a researcher needs to know while you are writing a research paper. You should be able to find a broader area which is called a topic, which is of your interest. Every research is based on every research is based on somebody's interest, researcher's interest. So that is the broader area called topic. Then we move on to research problem, which explains a specific issue that needs investigation. That is problem. No, or what is the actual problem? Hmm? That topic we are focusing some element of that topic. That is problem. Then comes the research question. It is a main question that the researcher needs to answer after the study. Or through the study, the researcher answers a particular question that is called a research question. And the objective is a reframing research question. And hypothesis is a tentative assumption. These are some of the terms that you, as a researcher, you need to know. Then moving on to this is the something I have consolidated topic, a broader area of interest, problem, a specific issue, research question, what the researcher wants to find out, objective, what the study aims to achieve. That is a reframing the research question is what objective is. And hypothesis is a tentative assumption, a prediction which is to be tested, yes or no question. That might be true or might be false. At the end of the research, we will find it as true or false. That is hypothesis. Then we have the basic type of research. We all know somebody is sorry. It is 7:45, and till now they are asking for permission. So,
Excuse me, ma'am.
yeah,
Ma'am, since that is disturbing the presentation, you need not want to let them in because they can watch the same through the live telecast using the YouTube link as well.
yeah. Thank you. So we are dealing with types of research now. Somebody might be knowing these things. The first one being basic research. This research type is
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
The slides are gone again.
Yeah. Yeah. So the types of research being basic research, that is research which we use to gain basic knowledge. To increase our knowledge or understanding, we do those type of research. See, this type of research may not solve immediate problems or practical problems they might not solve. This research is all about understanding concepts and theories. For example, how human brain works, how memory works, how language influences us, or what is the goal of knowledge creation. These are all basic type of research for increasing our knowledge or understanding. This type of research does not solve any type of problem. That is basic research. So another type of research is applied research. The basic thing of applied research is to solve a real life problem, solve any real life problem, including whether employee training of employees improve their productivity. That is an applied research. They need to solve a particular problem that has been identified as a real world problem. That is applied research. Then comes exploratory research. See, it is used when very little information is available about the topic. We do exploratory research, we do extensive literature review to find out the information about the topic. That is exploratory research. Then comes descriptive research. This is actually something we social sciences do. we do study about what exists. And so it describes the characteristics and behavior of a particular situation. If we have a situation, like for example, um, consumer preferences. What do consumer prefer while they go for an online shopping? It already exists, and we need to study the situation. Mm? See, social media usage pattern of students, those type of things already exist. They are already using those systems. They are already using social media. How are they using that? We are describing the present situation. That is descriptive research. Then we have experimental research, which is a cause and effect research. We take two groups and we do experiments on that group. See, for example, I am saying one group might be using smart classroom and the group might not be using smart classroom, and the results are compared. Which result is better? Smart classrooms or a group not using smart classrooms? Which group is better? We take experimental research for that. And qualitative and quantitative research, we all know qualitative deals with interviews, observations, and all. And quantitative research is purely based on numbers. And mixed method is one of the mm, most modern type of research and very publishable research also. This type of research publishers are sorry, publishers are looking forward for mixed method of research in research papers, and that is combining qualitative and quantitative methods. Both methods we are combining and doing research. That is called mixed methods of research. So these are some of the basic type of research everybody does. Faculty or as a researcher, we take basic research or apply exploratory, descriptive, experimental, qualitative, quantitative, and a mixed method that we're combining qualitative and quantitative method as well. These are the basic types of research. So, see, as I have already said, we are faculty from different areas. Mm, Our methodologies might differ. Different methodologies might be using different methodologies. And one important aspect of research is that whether methodologies might differ across discipline, but the basic logic of the research remains the same. As you all know, whether the faculty belongs to management, whether the faculty belongs to commerce or English, all researchers follow a same research process. Excuse me. All researchers follow the same research process as in identifying a research problem. All researchers follow the same research problem, like identifying a problem, reviewing the literature, formulating questions, then methodology, choosing the methodology, collecting whatever data they can get, then analyzing those data and through any method. That is where methods differ. In this part, methods can differ, and analyzing through different methods and drawing conclusion. This is a basic research logic. Whether it can be a management researcher or a commerce researcher or a arts researcher. Any researcher, the basic funda is like identifying a problem and reaching into conclusion through any method. Literature review is there, problem formulation is there, methodology choosing is there, collecting data is there, analyzing those data and moving on to findings and then reaching conclusion. All are there in research. Excuse me for a second. Sorry. Yeah, that is cross-disciplinary connection. As I've said, even if we are from different disciplines, there is still a connection in our research. So then moving on to the literature review phase, which is also very important while we are doing a research paper. The purpose of literature review, as you all know, see, understanding what's known and identifying the gaps is the purpose of literature review phase. So doing a literature review without a plan, see that phrase, I've given a phrase like doing a literature review without a plan is like going to a supermarket hungry and you will grab everything and still forget to buy the milk. That means without clear focus, we as researchers might collect lot of unrelated articles. We have gone through, everybody of us have gone through this literature review phase, and we all know how many literatures we have gathered to write a research paper. I have i have n number of folders. before Before this, I was very familiar with the research. Before knowing about research, I was grabbing hell lot of research articles, downloading articles without knowing where to read, what to read. After attending several FDPs, I came to know that it is not like that. We need to have a plan while we are doing a literature review. See, or else we'll collect lot of articles which might not be in any way linked to our research. So we'll grab everything. That is not the way. You need to have a particular plan of collecting literatures. There are several sources. See, what is the primary purpose of literature review? Primary purpose of literature review is identifying gaps. You are reading literatures and you are finding gaps. What have they done? You are understanding the knowledge, existing knowledge you are understanding. You are then identifying the research gaps. What have they left open for us? Then we need to know one thing also during literature review phase, you need to avoid duplication. For improving your research quality, we need to have a specific idea about literature review phase. So there are several sources of literature, sources that we can use for literature review. One being Google Scholar. You are all familiar with JSTOR, Scopus, Web of Science. These are some of the sources that we can get literatures from, and some tools that we can use for bibliography or references is Zotero and Mendeley. These are some of the tools we can use. And there are several ways of writing literatures. The two main ways of writing literature is thematic and chronological view. In research papers also we use, it is better, always better to use thematic view, thematic review for your literature review. Studies based on themes or concepts. We write the literature based on certain themes or concepts about the topic, about the research objectives, about the hypothesis formulation and all. We write it as a theme. That is thematic literature review. Chronological literature review means writing research articles based on a chronological order. That is chronological. So then there are platforms like Google Scholar, which is the most widely used academic platform. It is a search platform and it is free to access. You all know, right? Google Scholar. And Scopus is also one of the world's largest databases, citation databases that do exist. It contains several prestigious journals, and Web of Science is also another internationally recognized citation database. And JSTOR is there. It is an academic library, JSTOR. And SSRN is Social Science Research Network. It is also a platform for sharing research papers. And PubMed is for health sciences. IEEE for engineering. And Shodhganga, as you all know, it is a database for PhD thesis. Dissertations, research works can be submitted to this Shodhganga database. You can get PhD thesis for your reference from Shodhganga. These are some of the platforms that as researchers, we do find for getting good research articles. See, academic publication. As time is very limited, I'm moving a bit fast. See, academic publications. There are, see, when we talk about research publications, many people immediately think about journal articles. It is not like that. Academic research can be published in different forms, depending on the discipline and the purpose of research and the audience as well. We can do research in different forms. One of the form is journal articles. The next form is conference papers, book chapters, case studies, review papers, or Scopus index publication. So journal articles. Um, these are original research findings. They contain some theoretical discussions, analytical studies. Um, these are usually peer reviewed journals. They have a structured format. That format I'll explain in the next slide. They have a particular format like IMRAD format for writing research papers. And conference papers are research papers presented in academic conferences. Researchers present their findings in the conference presentations. They do present their findings, innovative ideas, and ongoing works. And they consolidate it as an abstract research paper in conference proceedings, and that is called conference paper. So, these conference proceedings or conference papers are usually done by researchers to get feedback or networking with scholars and improving their work before any main publication. They do conference proceedings. And book chapter is a contribution to an edited book, academic book. They do book chapters. So different authors might have done different chapters on related themes. Some theme will be there for the book, and different chapters will be done by different authors. And case studies, as you all know, analyzing real situations of any organization or any events, we can take it as a case study and publish it as well. And review papers is what actually summarize and evaluate a research, evaluate existing research on a topic. That is review paper. See, unlike original journal articles or original research papers, they do not collect new data. These review papers do not collect due data. They identify trends, compare or combine studies, and highlight the gap and provide future research directions. That is review paper. And Scopus and Web of Science, you all know, these are publications appearing in journals indexed in Scopus or Web of Science. That are Scopus or Web of Science indexed publications. So these are the major publication types, and we all are familiar with journal articles, and that is not the case. There are different type of publications as well: conference papers, book chapters, case studies, review papers, Scopus and Web of Science index publications as well. So indexing, we are moving on to indexing. See, when we as researchers publish papers, an important question arises. You all know that question and you are all familiar with that question. How do we know whether a journal is of good quality or not? While we are publishing, the first question is that we take a journal and we, in our mind, the first question, oh, is it a predatory journal? Is this journal good or not? That is the first question. This is where indexing system and quality indicators come into place. So, what are these indexes? You are familiar with the Scopus indexes, right? Scopus is one of the world's largest index or largest database of academic research. Of good quality journals are there in this index or in this database. See, it can include peer-reviewed journal, conference papers, book or research publication, case studies, anything will be there in this Scopus index. And Scopus index is divided into four quartiles. You are familiar with, some of you might be familiar with these quartiles: Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. See, Q1 quartile is those journals which are top 25 journals in that field. In that particular field, top 25 journals fall in Q1 category. And in Q2 category, the journals in next 25%. So the best publishers or best journals go to the Q1 and Q2 category. And Q3 is average performing, and Q4 is low ranked Scopus index journals. So these are the four quartiles of journals that you need to get familiar with. Q1 is top 25 journals, Q2 is next 25 journals. So obviously Q1 and Q2 are the best performing journals. Q3 is average and Q4 is low performing journal. And site score. You know site score, right? Site score is a citation based metrics used by Scopus. See, what is site score? It simply means how frequently articles in a journals are cited That is site score. How frequently they are cited. That is called site score. See, if researchers across the world frequently cite papers from a journal, if I am citing a particular journal in my paper, and if somebody else is also citing that particular journal in their paper also. So, if researchers across several disciplines frequently cite papers from a journal, that journal usually has a higher visibility or higher site score. That is what site score is. So, we are talking about journal indexing, and the first index is Scopus or Scopus database, and the second index is Web of Science index. See, Web of Science is also an internationally recognized citation database. Web of Science is also an internationally respected citation database, and it includes highly recognized journals across that index. In the Web of Science index, we have SCI, ESCI, SSCI, and AHCI, where SCI is Science Citation Index. Based on, it is purely for the pure sciences, engineering, technology, medical sciences, and all. They deals with SCI index, that is Science Citation Index. ESCI is SSCI is Social Sciences Citation Index, mainly for management and commerce. And ESCI is Emerging Sources Citation Index, that is those indexes or those journals which are emerging and have a good quality that comes under uh, emerging sources citation index. And last one is AHCI. AHCI is Arts and Humanities Citation Index, mainly for English literature. So SCI for Science and Medicine, ESCI Emerging, and so SSCI Social Sciences, and AHCI is for Art and Humanities. And ABDC is particularly for management discipline. We as management faculty do publish our research usually in ABDC journals. It is ABDC means Australian Business Deans Council journalist. That is ABDC journal, and we have certain rankings also in ABDC. A star is the highest ranking. A star, then A for excellent, B for good, and C for acceptable quality journal. So in social sciences research, if we have an ABDC A star journal, it is a very prestigious journal, or we have a good score for ABDC A star. Or ABDC A is also good, ABDC B is also good. And ABDC C is acceptable quality. Then that is the journal indexing. One is Scopus index, one is Web of Science index, and one is ABDC index. So time is now 8:05. I'll wind up soon. So I want you to know about impact factor, site score, and H index. Site score, as I've already mentioned, that it measures average citations received by articles in a journal. That is site score. Impact factor, same thing for Web of Science journal. I have said there are two indices, Web of Science and Scopus index. Site score is limited to Scopus index journals, and impact factor is limited to Web of Science journal. So H index is another measure. A researcher's productivity and citation impact based on their published papers. See, I've given an example like H index. If a researcher has an H index of 10, what does that mean? It means they have 10 papers, and each of those papers has been cited at least 10 times. Then the researcher can get an H index of 10. If I have in an article, if I have an H index of 10, what does that mean? I have 10 papers, and each of those papers has been cited by somebody at least 10 times. That is H index. So you are now familiar with impact factor, site score, and H index. Impact factor is for Web of Science journals, average citation for Web of Science journals, and site score is the average citation for Scopus index journal, and H index is something like researchers' productivity and citation impact. So that was that. And the last part of the session is predatory journals. We need to find red flags, fake indexing. See, predatory. What are predatory journals? Predatory journals are journals that mainly aim to collect publication fees without maintaining proper academic quality. They do collect publication fee only. This might be peer reviewed only. With local standards, they will peer review and they collect a huge amount of publication fees from you without maintaining proper quality. So, uh, how can we find these predatory journals? Mm, See, the first thing is fake index claims. They claim that they are indexed in Scopus, they are indexed in Web of Science, they are indexed in some prestigious databases. They do claim like that. That is the first thing. So the second thing is unrealistic acceptance promises. So what do you think? What can you do about this fake indexing claims? Do check the indexes regularly. If you are going to publish in a journal, do go and check Scopus index list or Web of Science list, main list from the main database only. Then comes the red flag like unrealistic acceptance promises. See, they tell you that your paper will be accepted within 24 hours. And they tell you like guaranteed publication in 3 days. They tell you like 100% acceptance. Don't go for that. They are fake journals. Quality journals require peer review, revisions, editorial evaluation, and lot of things are there. Lot of procedures are there, which takes hell lot of time, which might be taking 6 months to 1 year. It might take, and you will get spam emails like random invitation emails for paper submission. Don't go for that. You can also find a red flag like website quality. If you are going to that websites, you can see unprofessional websites. No peer review transparency. The journal might not be having an editorial process, a review process. A good journal always, before submitting, always verify. As a researcher, you need to always verify Scopus or Web of Science indexing officially. See the publisher reputation. See the editorial board authenticity. See the peer reviewed process. See the previous issued papers to find red flags. So these are some of the things that I've already covered. See, if a journal sounds suspicious, a journal title sound suspicious like Journal of Global Multidisciplinary Universal Advanced Research, don't go for that. It is a suspicious thing, right? If an email ID sounds like publish fast, dot biz, don't go for that. Say guaranteed acceptance in 3 days, don't go for that. If you're looking for journal's website and it looks like an MS Paint, don't go for that. Double verify every time. Double verify. Copy and find in Scopus index. Avoid these type of things. These are red flags that you can see. So apart from that, I need something like you can use for your paper publishing. You can use Grammarly, Quillboard, Word Tune, which is a sentence tuning thing. These are some of the. To some extent, they are free versions. You can proofread or paraphrase using that. You can use some EndNote, Zotero, and Mendeley for referencing as well. And as you all know, use ChatGPT, but before getting those context or getting those main points, use ChatGPT. Don't write your research papers using ChatGPT. See, in structure of a research paper, a good research paper. In every Scopus Index journals or every Web of Science journal, they do follow this method. IMRAD method it is called. I for introduction, M for methodology, R for results, and D for discussion. You need to do an abstract first. You all know abstract is a short summary of the research paper which explains the research problem, objectives, methods, key findings, and conclusion in less than 250 words. That is an abstract. As for writing a good research paper, you need to have these four things: introduction, methodology, results, and discussion. Introduction about the background, importance of the topic, research gap, why this topic is important, um, what is missing in the previous research, that comes under introduction part. And methodology being your research recipe, that is, it includes research design, sampling design, data collection tools, statistical techniques if you are using, interview or observation techniques if you are using. That methodology part covers all those things. And results, the main stat, the main findings, data, tables, statistical outcomes. And discussion, we in discussion we need to mention about the findings, implication, and connection with previous studies. That is IMRAD format. Introduction, methodology, results, and discussion format. This is a format you need to follow for every good research paper. So there is another thing called funding. You can go for funding as well. Minor and major projects you can identify. Several government agencies and several private agencies are supporting minor and major projects for your research. You can there are sorry there are certain funding agencies as well. You all know about ICSSR, right? ICSSR is Indian Council for Social Science Research. It supports management, commerce, economics, education, and humanities type of research, and they provide fund for a good research. You can submit ICSSR fellowship projects as well. You can submit and they will go through, they will evaluate our project proposal and they'll fund for you. UGC is also funding for research proposals. DST is Department of Science and Technology. They are also funding. AICT is funding, and ICMR is Indian Council for Medical Research, which fund for medical science projects. And these are some of the agencies that you can approach if you want to go for a funded research. And for academic visibility, I always um, I always do make researchers ensure that they need to always update on these things like ORCID ID, Open Researcher and Contribution ID. You need this is a unique digital researcher identity, as you all know. It helps to distinguish researchers with similar names. We can distinguish researchers using your ORCID ID. It is Open Researcher and Contributor ID. Google Scholar also you can create your own ID and bring your papers over there. Scopus author ID is also there, research identification.
Ma'am? Excuse me, ma'am.
I'm really very sorry that my laptop got disconnected.
It's okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So I'll move on to that was my last slide actually. I'll move on to the conclusion. You have any queries you can ask?
If any of the participants have questions or would like to clarify any doubts regarding today's topic, you're welcome to ask now. Ma'am, there's a question in
Yeah,
the chat box.
yeah. A second. Um, can you just read out that question? I can't access the message.
Yes, ma'am. How AI assist to write good paper?
Okay. We can, as I have mentioned, that we can use AI, but to a certain limit. You can use chatbots, several chat GPT, Gemini, Claude, etc. You can use for your research, but it is not like you can completely rely on AI. Hmm? Um, Actually, the question was how AI can assist you to write research papers, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. See, you can assist AI. Actually, I have mentioned in the first part of this session for finding research topics. If you have a broader topic in your mind, you can find help from any AI chatbot for finding research topics, or in the literature review phase. Um, be very be very clear that there are thousands of papers coming up through these chatbots while we are asking about a literature review or about a topic. You need to have a genuinity on that. While you are selecting something from AI, you need to prove the genuinity of that chatbot also. That is, you must use it with a very cautious way. That is what I can say.
Thank you, ma'am. There's another question also.
Yeah.
Kindly tell the difference between writing a research paper and writing a chapter in an edited book.
Okay. See, edited books, they have a theme for that book. Mostly they have a theme for that particular book, and research article is purely based on a researcher's interest. That is what the primary difference is. Any
Okay, ma'am.
further clarifications?
I hope there are none.
Yeah.
Let's proceed, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for such an informative session. Your valuable insights on academic research have certainly enhanced our understanding and inspired us to explore research with greater clarity. As we come to the end of today's program, I invite Dr. Virgin Mary S., Assistant Professor, Department of English, Nanjil Catholic College of Arts and Science, to deliver the vote of thanks. Please, ma'am.
Good evening to everyone. It's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks for this 6-day national level online FDP on excellence in education, shaping tomorrow's classroom, titled Basic of Academic Research, organized by IQSCR cell of NACAS. First, I would like to extend heartfelt thanks to Reverend Father Dr. C. Stephen, Secretary and Correspondent of NACAS, for his valuable talk and guidance throughout this virtual FDP. Thank you, Father. Next, I would like to thank Dr. M. Amalnathan, our principal, for his motivational encouragement and support throughout this FDP. Thank you, sir. And I would like to express our sincere gratitude to the resource person, Dr. Anchu Pia, Assistant Professor, Bharat Mat Institute of Management, for sharing her valuable knowledge, insights, and experience on importance of research in academia, and also for your detailed insights on publication. Your section was truly inspiring, informative, and enriching for all the participants. Thank you, ma'am. Next, I would also like to thank all the faculty members, participants, and delegates from various institutions for your enthusiastic participation, and your presence add great value to the program. Thank you, dear participants. Once again, I thank you all for your valuable cooperation and contributions. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for those sweet words of gratitude. With this, we conclude today's session. Thank you all for your active participation and cooperation. We look forward to meeting you again in tomorrow's session. Have a pleasant evening. Before you leave, please don't forget to give your feedback through the feedback link that's put in the in call messages.